Parvati, I think let's start.
Okay, perfect, sir. Good afternoon to everyone present here. Welcome to the TOEFL and GRE webinar hosted by the Students Academic Board here at IIT Guwahati. First of all, thank you to all of you for taking time off of this Saturday afternoon and joining us to further your prospects as a graduate student. My job here is to introduce you to the session as well as the resource person we have with us today. So the GRE, or the Graduate Records Examination, is currently a requirement for admissions at thousands of colleges spread across almost 190 countries. The TOEFL, or the Test of English as a Foreign Language, also assesses the English speaking and comprehension skills of students who are applying to countries where English is the native language. So anyone who has delved a little bit into the world of graduate applications must have definitely come across these two examinations. And we understand that sometimes it's a daunting process to get to know about these tests, applying to them, and preparing and then giving these examinations. So in order to clear that fog for you, and in order to introduce us to the nitty-gritties of these two examinations, which are both conducted by ETS, by the way, we have with us Mr. Joseph Augustine. He is a senior manager at DP Cube Learning, and he's an expert when it comes to institutional outreaching and counseling for students. He has an experience of more than 12 years within the education sector, and he has worked with organizations such as Career Launcher, the Princeton Review, and College Deco. He has also spent a considerable amount of time at Learning Links Foundation, where he has helped more than 5,000 students to optimize their applications and to put them on their track towards their dream colleges. So, Mr. Augustine, thank you so much for taking time off of your schedule and joining us today. Over to you. And I really hope that this session will add value to the academic pursuits of everyone who has joined us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Parvati, for that wonderful introduction. And good afternoon to all the students who are here present for the session. My name is Joseph, and today I'll be talking to you about TOEFL and GRE. So before we start off with the session, guys, this will be a two-way session where I'll be asking you, like questions on TOEFL and GRE. So I request all of you to be, attentive while I'm taking this session. So I'll be asking you basically about what all, I'll be talking to you today in this PPT of TOEFL and GRE. So without any delay, guys, I'll be starting off with the session. So in today's session, guys, we'll be covering why TOEFL, an overview of the test. We'll also be looking at the format of the test, recent updates that have happened in the TOEFL test. Also be talking about the prep materials, basically for you guys to practice on, the registration process, home, and also I'll talk about the two variants of TOEFL, which is the home edition and paper edition. So, when I counsel students, I, get to know from them, like they ask me a lot of questions like, so why should a student choose TOEFL? So TOEFL as a, basically stands for Test of English as a Foreign Language. And whenever any student is planning to study abroad, he or she has to take an English proficiency test. So TOEFL has been accepted by 11,500 plus universities across the globe. TOEFL has also come up with 3 convenient testing options. One is the TOEFL IBT, where a student actually goes to a test center and takes the test. You have the TOEFL Home Edition, wherein a student can actually take this test sitting at his or her home. You also have the paper edition, where a student can actually go to the test center, basically for those students who are not who wants to take the test on paper, can take the paper edition of TOEFL as well. So TOEFL basically tests you on 4 skills, which is reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So TOEFL gives 100% academic oriented questions are there in TOEFL, right? There is no fair and unbiased scoring, which TOEFL does, because in other papers like IELTS and PT or any other English proficiency tests that are there in the market, you can see that the rating is being done by a human rater. Whereas in TOEFL, the rating has been done by both human rater as well as an artificial intelligence. The score for TOEFL is valid for 2 years and the cost of TOEFL paper is $190. So guys, like I told you, there's 100% acceptance of TOEFL in all the universities like US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and even Germany. Because when I counsel IIT students, I get to know they also want to get into German universities. They plan to they wish to apply into German universities as well. But yes, if you're applying in German universities also, you can apply using the TOEFL score. So like I told you, 11,500 plus institutions across the globe is accepting the TOEFL score. So now I'll be talking to you about the structure of the TOEFL test. So on screen, you can see that, on the right side is the recent updates that TOEFL has done. So now the TOEFL test is shorter. Instead of 3 hours, 30 minutes, it's a 3 hours test. So like I told you, you have reading, listening, speaking and writing. So what changes TOEFL has done? So first of all, in reading, if you look at the reading passage, there are 3 to 4 reading passages and number of questions have been reduced. Earlier it was 12 to 14, now it is 10. Also, the time limit varies from 54 to 72 minutes. Now, you guys might be thinking, what is 54 to 72 minutes? So, in case if you get an unscored section in reading, the time increases from 54 to 72 minutes. Similarly, guys, in listening also, the number of lectures have reduced. It's 3 to 4. Earlier it was 4 to 6. You have 6 questions each in all the lectures that are there. The 2 to 3 conversation, 5 questions each. Again, the time limit varies from 41 to 57. Again, it means that in case if you get unscored section in listening, the time limit increases from 41 to 57 minutes. Guys, also do note that in case like whenever you're taking this TOEFL test, you will not be getting this unscored questions in both reading and listening. It will be either in reading or in listening. So after the reading listening, there's a 10 minutes break, and then you start off with the speaking section, where you'll be getting tested on 4 tasks, 1 independent and 3 integrated tasks. Then comes the writing section. So before I move on to the writing section, I would like to explain to you what is independent and integrated task in speaking. So in independent task, you might get a reading passage, or you might get a listening, or you might get an audio. So after you read, you have to, now you have to, start speaking. You have to give your opinion on it, right? If I talk about the integrated task is a task where you'll be getting a reading passage as well as listening passage. You have to read, then you have to listen, then you have to actually, start speaking and give your points, right? With a valid, because they want to speak, they want to understand how well you have integrated both reading as well as listening and how we are communicating, right? So once you're done with the speaking task, you get the writing task, where you have 2 things in it. One is the integrated and one is again independent, and time limit is 50 minutes. So the next video, guys, will be talking about the entire structure of the TOEFL test. So I ask all of you to please listen to that video.
Before you take your TOEFL IBT test, make sure you understand how it is structured. The test has 4 sections: reading, listening, speaking, and writing, and takes about 3 hours. First is the reading section. It has 3 academic reading passages, each with 10 multiple choice questions. Next is the listening section. It has 5 listening passages. 3 are academic lectures with 6 questions each, and 2 are campus conversations with 5 questions each. Your test may include additional unscored questions for reading or listening, but never both. Then there is a 10-minute break. After the break are the speaking and writing sections. In the speaking section, there are 4 tasks, and you speak your responses into the microphone. The writing section has 2 essays that you type into the computer or write on paper, depending on the testing option you chose. All 4 sections use real academic content, so you can prove you are ready for the English language demands of a university.
So I hope the structure for TOEFL is clear to all. So now I'll be talking to you about the recent updates that TOEFL has brought in. So first and foremost, you get the instant reading and listening score, which means that once you're done with the test, immediately you get to know how much you have scored in reading and listening. TOEFL has also extended the registration date, which means that now a student can book the test 2 days before the test date, right? You have a faster score reporting, which means that you get the result within 6 days. Earlier it was 10 days. You also have the TOEFL Official App. This is a very useful app which a student can download on their mobile phones, available both on Android and iOS. And once you download the this app on your mobile phone, you can access a lot of study material. Again, you have a free practice test which is available on our ETS's website. So guys, those students who are actually planning to study abroad and are planning to take any sort of English proficiency test, I would request you to please go to our website. There's a free full-length test of TOEFL which will give you a feeler of how the TOEFL test looks like. So it has the same on-screen experience. It has, the structuring, everything is the same. It gives you a feeler of how this paper looks like. Also, as I told you, the test is shorter now. Instead of 3 hours 30, now the test is for 3 hours. A very good feature that recently TOEFL has started off with is the My Best Score. So I'll be talking about My Best Score in my upcoming slide, because there's a lot of students have actually benefited out of the My Best Score feature that TOEFL has brought in. Easier registration process TOEFL has. So now, you can finish the registration for TOEFL within 10 to 15 minutes time. So guys, these are the study material which is available on our website, which is free of cost. I request the students who are actually planning to take a test in near future could please take a screenshot of this page. Probably you can access all these study material which is available there on our website. So you have a student planner in it as well, which you can download, and then you can actually plan for the test. So it actually helps you through the entire journey of preparing yourself for the TOEFL test. So coming to registration part of TOEFL, guys, it is very simple. You need to log on to www.ets.org/myTOEFL. So once you register yourself on TOEFL, like you have to register using your passport or your Aadhaar card. So guys, make sure that the passport that you're using is the active passport, right? It is not expired. And the Aadhaar card that you guys need to use is this Aadhaar card. On screen you can see the big Aadhaar card this lady is holding. This is the Aadhaar card that you need to carry to a test center if in case if you while registering you have to use this card. If you don't have this card, you have a smart Aadhaar card, please don't register using it. I would prefer that you can use a passport, a valid passport for the same. Guys, like I told you about the TOEFL official app, this app is very useful. You can download this app. Once you download, you get to know the nearest test centers that is near to your place where you stay. You can also access to a lot of test prep material in this app as well. So guys, with the TOEFL score, you can apply into 4 university free of cost. So this feature is available in TOEFL IBT and TOEFL Home Edition. With your fees of $190, you can apply into 4 universities of your choice, where you'll be sending the scores to once the test is done. So guys, now I'll be talking about the scoring part of the TOEFL. So the scoring of reading, listening, and writing ranges from 0 to 30, and the total score is out of 0 to 120. So whatever, like so a student gets a score out of 120, like 87 out of 120 or 100 out of 120 is the score that a student gets. So coming to the My Best Scores, guys, is a very good feature that TOEFL has brought in and really helped a lot of students get into their dream university. So what is My Best Score and how My Best Scores work? So basically, guys, on the bottom of the screen, you can see on the left side, there's a student. She took this test on October 23rd, and she scored 17 in reading, in listening 20, speaking 22, in writing she scored 22. The student, made a mind of, let's take the test again, and she took the test again in December, and she has scored 18. That means there was a 1 point increment in the reading section. There was a 3 point increment in listening. Speaking, for both the attempts, the score remained the same, and in writing also there was an increment of 2 points. So what happened? Out of the 2 attempts, the best scores were taken and forwarded to the university, right? So this feature is only available with TOEFL. And guys, because I have counseled many students, I know when they come up to me saying, sir, I have not got the desired band in IELTS, or I've not got the desired score in PT test that I took, I have to again take the test, and the students, shells on spending money, right? Whereas in TOEFL, if you have not scored or you didn't get your desired score, if you take a second attempt, there's a feature of My Best Score which can actually put forward the best scores out of the number of attempts that you have taken and forward it to the university. So in case if you have taken 3 tests of TOEFL, so out of the 3, the best 4 scores will be taken forward and sent to the university. So now I'll be talking to you about TOEFL Home Edition. So guys, ETS came out with the TOEFL Home Edition and GRE General Test at home during the pandemic time, right? Where students were not able to go to a test center and take the test. This is the time when ETS actually came up with both these online testing modules. So now I'll be talking to you about TOEFL Home Edition. So the entire test structure, the format of the test, the look and feel of the test, the feel of the test, the score reporting, everything remains the same. The only difference is that now you'll be taking this test at home instead of you going to a test center, right? So it's a very good option for students who, who are like, who don't wish to go to a test center and take the test, so they can take this test at home. But guys, you have to make sure that you are taking this test on a computer or a desktop. You cannot take this test on a mobile phone or a tab, right? What basic requirement is that you should be in a room where no one comes and goes out, right? All the doors all should be shut. There should be no interference from anyone in your family, or any sort of disturbance should not be there while you're taking the test, because the entire test is being recorded and you have been monitored by a human proctor, and the entire test is being recorded through artificial intelligence software called the ProctorU, right, which actually maintains the sanctity of this test. So there are a lot of things about, if you want to take the TOEFL Home Edition, you can find it on our website, which will actually help you out. So this test can be taken from Sunday to Wednesday, 4 days a week. This test is available 24/7. So you have a multiple time slot. If you want to take this test early in the morning, you can take it then. If you want to take it late at night, in the afternoon, whatever time you want, this test is available from Sunday to Wednesday. So in short, it's a very convenient testing option. There's an online proctor who actually sees you throughout the 3 hours of test that you're taking, ensures the test that you're doing, you're doing it on the right way. Again, this test can be taken 24 hours a day, 4 days a week. Registration process is very simple, and the best part, 11,000 plus universities across the globe is accepting the TOEFL Home Edition score. So now I'll be talking to you about the paper edition. Paper edition is basically for those students who are not comfortable taking the test online or on screen, right? So what has been done is that it has been divided into 2 days, day 1 and day 2. So in day 1, you'll be tested on reading, listening, and writing. So you have to go to an authorized ETS test center and take this test, right? Whereas the speaking section, you can take this test at home, right? So you can actually schedule your speaking test beforehand. So within 3 days of test center appointment, you have to schedule the speaking section, and this section you can take at home, right? So this actually gives you a lot of time to prepare for the speaking section as well, and you can actually get some rest after the first 3 sections are done, right? What is the advantage of paper edition? The best part is that with the paper edition, guys, you can apply into unlimited institutions of your choice. So in IBT and home edition, with your fee of $190, you can apply into 4 universities of choice, right? With this, you can apply into unlimited universities of your choice, right? And you can also choose a speaking appointment date and time. That's the best part. So if you want to take the speaking appointment early in the morning, you can do that. Late in the evening, you can do that. So time, there are multiple time slots for you guys. So guys, for more information related to TOEFL, you guys can visit our ETS's website, ets.org/TOEFL. We'll be happy to help you out. This is a small $10 discount voucher for all the students who are planning to take the TOEFL test. So I request you all to please take a screenshot of this page. It's DP TOEFL 10. Once you apply this discount voucher code, you'll be getting a $10 discount. So instead of $190, the test will cost you $180. So our contact number and email ID is also mentioned here. So you can probably, in case if you face any issue while registering, you can call us. We'll be happy to help you out. So this is how you need to apply. While checking out, there's an option of putting the voucher code. This is where you have to actually put the voucher code. Once you put it, automatically the price changes and it becomes $180. So If I hope all of you have taken a screenshot of this page. So before we start off with the GRE session, a quick quiz with all of you. So how many sections are there in TOEFL? You can write in the Q&A section. How many sections? Okay, there's someone put in the chat box. 4. Yeah. Very good. Divyanshu, George, Nishant, 4. Absolutely. What is the TOEFL fee? Yes, Omkar, Paridhi, Nishant, Shivam, Mana, all right, right. USD, absolutely. It's not 180, it's 190 US dollars. 180 becomes after you apply the DP TOEFL 10 discount voucher. Correct. Okay. Which means that you guys are listening to me, and I'm really happy that you guys are listening to me. So without any delay, I would like to now start off with the session on GRE. So I know a lot of students from IIT, they take GRE test, right? So what is GRE? So before we start off with this, what is the full form of GRE, guys? Anyone who can write in the chat box, what is the full form of GRE? Graduate record examination. Absolutely, Divyanshu, you're right. It is graduate record examination. And guys, when I counsel students, I get to know that when I ask them, GRE is taken for which program. So I get to know that it is basically, this is what students tell me. So that it's basically for masters, if a student wants to pursue masters from US, which is not right, guys. With GRE, you can, apply for MBA programs, you can apply in law programs, PhD program, masters, of course, is there, and it's not specifically for US. But with GRE score, you can apply anywhere. Even in India, different B schools they accept, GRE score. Like ISB accepts GRE score for both for all the programs, whether it's a YLP program or it's an executive program. They accept both GRE as well as GMAT. And even IMs also, if you'll see, you visit their website, they accept CAT, they accept GMAT, they accept GRE scores as well. So with the GRE scores, guys, you can also apply in, universities in India as well. So now I'll just, this is the overview of the entire session, that how I'll be taking this session. So I'll be talking to you about GRE General Test. I'll also be talking about the registration part, also be talking about what to expect on test day if you're taking the test at home or if you're going to a test center. We'll give you some general tips and strategies. I'll also be talking about getting and sending your scores and the tools to prepare for the TOEFL test or GRE test. So guys, like I told you, GRE is being accepted for all the programs. It's not just for masters, but for an MBA program, for law program, doctoral program, PhD, it's accepted. The fees for the GRE test is $213 US, 213 US dollars, and the score of GRE test is valid for 5 years. So guys, more than 1,300 business schools across the globe, is accepting GRE score for their business program. So if you visit the Harvard Business School's website, they have clearly mentioned that there is no minimum GMAT or GRE score they require to apply. Students are required to apply. So which means that there is no biasness towards either of the test. It is equal weightage has been given to GMAT as well as for GRE. And this is what other B school, tend to follow. So guys, with the GRE scores, you can also apply into law programs as well. For the students who are interested in law programs, they can also apply in university abroad using their GRE score. So this list keeps on increasing. You can visit our web page to see which all schools have now been added to that list. So guys, GRE is a computer delivered test. So there are more than 1,000 test centers across 160 countries. So if you want to see the test center which is near to your place, you can probably then visit our website and see which is the nearest test center. So now I'll be talking to you about the GRE General Test at home. Like I told you, this was again launched by TOEFL during the pandemic time, by ETS during the pandemic time. So guys, the only difference again here is that instead of you going to a authorized test center to take the GRE test, now you'll be taking this test at home, which means that the structure of the test remains the same, the fees remains the same, all the features, the on-screen experience, instant scoring feature, everything remains the same. The only difference is that you're taking this test at home. That's it. So there will be a human proctor who will be looking at you throughout the test, and there is a artificial intelligence software which is called the Proctor U that will make sure that student is not using any unfair means to get good scores for GRE. So like I told you, you can take this test on a laptop or a computer or a desktop. You cannot use it on a tab or a mobile phone. Also, guys, the only thing is that you should have an inbuilt camera or an external camera. Internal external speakers can work. Internal external microphone can work. You cannot use a headset while you're taking this test at home. So now I'll be talking to you about the structure of the GRE test, guys. So in GRE, you guys will be getting tested on three things. One is the analytical writing, you have verbal reasoning, and you have quantitative reasoning. So in analytical writing, guys, you have one section which has 2 tasks, and 30 minutes is given to you for each task. In verbal reasoning, you have 2 sections, 20 questions are there per section, and 30 minutes are given per section for you to do the verbal reasoning. Similarly, for quantitative reasoning also, guys, you'll be getting 2 sections. 20 questions will be there per section, and 35 minutes will be given to you per section, which means the GRE test is for 3 hours and 45 minutes in total, right? So guys, also one thing I would like to tell you that in GRE, you get an unscored section, right? Unscored section can either be in your verbal reasoning or it can be in your quantitative reasoning, right? But it cannot be in both verbal as well as in quant, right? You might also get a research section, but if you get a research section, they'll mention that this is a research section, but you have to attempt it, right? In unscored section, they will not let you know that it's an unscored section. It could be the second section that you're doing, could be an unscored section, or the fourth section that you're doing could be an unscored section. So you never get to know whether it was in verbal reasoning or in quantitative reasoning that you received an unscored section. So now I'll give you a little in-depth knowledge of like what actually questions are asked in AW, verbal reasoning, or in quantitative reasoning. So if I talk about AW basically analytical writing, it actually assesses your critical thinking and analytical writing skills, guys. So there are 2 type of writing tasks that they ask you, right? So all you have to type, all of these tasks you will have to type in the into the computer while you're doing AW. So first is analyze an issue, where a topic will be given to you. You have to analyze it, then you have to start writing it, and you have to give examples to support your point. Again, there's another task which is called the analyze an argument. Over here, again, they'll give you a topic, you have to type in your response, but now you have to act as a critic. You have to go against that particular topic, you have to act as a critic, and you have to sustain by giving suitable examples to why you are why are you against that particular topic. So all things you'll be typing it in the computer. So coming to the verbal reasoning, guys, you'll be tested on reading comprehension, you'll be tested on text completion, as well as in sentence equivalence. So in reading comprehension, guys, you will be getting, multiple choice questions with 1 answer choice, or there could be a multiple choice question with 2 answer choices as well, right? In text completion, guys, again, there will be a sentence with 1 blank. There'll be 5 options that will be given to you. You have to choose which options get filled in that blank which is there. In sentence equivalence, guys, again, it's a sentence that will be given to you. It will basically have 2 blanks, and you'll be given 5 options. In those 5 options, there are 2 words which actually means the same. So you have to actually get those 2 words and you have to put it in those 2 blanks that are there. So guys, also do remember that in GRE, there is no negative marking. So I request all the students who are actually aspiring or planning to take the GRE test, if you don't know any question, don't leave it blank, attempt it and move forward. Also, guys, in GRE, there is no partial marking as well. So let's say there are 2 fill in the blanks, you did 1 right, 1 is wrong. So there is no, marks given to you. So there is no partial marking. The entire sentence should be correct. Then only you'll be receiving that mark. So now coming to the quantitative reasoning, guys. So it is the same maths that you guys have studied till now, till your 12th class. So for engineering students, I think that, maths is not a big problem. The problem area comes when it is a verbal part, right? So it's a very simple maths that you have here. And guys, also do remember that whenever you're going to take this test at a test center or you're taking this test at home, you don't require any calculator, because online calculator is there. when you're taking this test. So here in the screenshot, guys, you can actually see how the online calculator looks. On top, you can see the back and next buttons which are there, through which you can actually move to the next question. And you also have a review screen over here, through which you can actually review the entire section and see how many questions you have completed, how many questions you have not completed till now, right? And probably come back to it once you're done with the easy questions. So guys, coming to the scoring, how the scoring happens, guys, do remember that GRE is a sectional adaptive test, which means that the level of difficulty that you'll be getting in second section depends on how you have done your first section, right? So if you have done your first section well, you will be getting little, the second section will be little difficult. If you've done your first section really bad, the second section will be very easy, right? So it depends on how you do your first section, the second section's difficulty level, changes accordingly. So the scoring of GRE, how it is done, it is out of 340. So the GRE score is out of 340. So in AW, the score ranges between 0 to 6. In verbal reasoning, the score ranges between 130 to 170. Quantitative reasoning, again, 130 to 170, right? So you cannot go below 130. It's a score which is between 130 to 170 in verbal reasoning as well as in quantitative reasoning. Like I told you, the scores for GRE are valid for 5 years. So now I'll give you some registration tips, guys. So these tips are actually, could be useful to you. So my suggestion to all the students are, if you have already planned to take the GRE test, right, I would tell you that you should register early. The reason why I'm telling you to register early is that, first of all, you get your preferred testing location, you get the desired date and time, and you also have a focused approach towards the preparation of this test, right? Because I have seen students all of a sudden they say, oh, the deadlines are approaching, I have to take my GRE test. They take it, right? But instead of he or she doing the test in a nearest test center, they're actually going outside the state and taking the test. So a student in Delhi probably is visiting Chandigarh or some nearby states to take the test because the test center was full during that particular point of time. So I request, in case if you have decided that yes, you have to study abroad and you have to take the GRE test, so register for this test early. So there is something called as a GRE Search Service as well. So I'll be talking to you about this. Actually, this service helps universities to find you, basically. So if you have a score of, let's say, a 310 or 315 and you enable this service, so basically universities will start approaching you, right? So I'll be talking to you about this in my upcoming slide. So this video will be on how to register for the GRE test. So I request all of you to please pay attention to this video and see how a student can register themselves for the GRE test.
This is how to register for a GRE General Test on the GRE website. If you have a disability or health-related need and require testing accommodations, you must have your accommodations approved prior to scheduling your appointment. Before you register for the test, visit the Accommodations page. To get started, enter your ETS account username and password and click Sign In. Click Register. Select the GRE General Test. When taking the General Test, you can choose the Test at Home option if it is available in the country listed in your account. You can also choose to find test centers near your location. To take the GRE General Test at home, first verify your email address, then choose the 2-month period when you would like to take the test, then continue. To select your test appointment, confirm your time zone or select a new one. Then select an available test date from the calendar. Then select an available time for your test and click Register for this test. To take the GRE General Test in a test center, enter your preferred testing location, choose the 2-month period when you would like to take the test, and then click Continue. You may select any date from the calendar that shows available seats. Choose a location, and then select Show Test Times for that location. When you find a time that suits you, click Register. Whether you're testing at home or in a test center, the next page has information you should know before you complete your registration. Review the information in the Testing Policy section, check the box, and click Next. Confirm the personal information you entered when you created your account. If your contact information has changed, you can update it. Review the details of the free GRE Search Service that helps schools find you. Select your preference and click Next. On the next page, you will review all the details from your registration, then update or click Next if you are satisfied with the information. You can now add free official test prep to your cart and then shop for additional prep if you choose. Review your registration date, time, and location. Review your shopping cart and proceed to checkout. Enter any promotion or voucher codes you may have and choose Pay Now. Select your payment method from the available options. Enter the required payment information. Once your payment is verified, you will receive a confirmation email with your test information. If you chose the Test at Home option, the confirmation email will include the test link to launch your test on test day. Be sure to keep this email secure. That's it. You can return to your account homepage anytime to see your upcoming test dates, access test prep, and after test day, you can view your scores and order additional score reports. Best of luck on your GRE test.
So I hope that video was useful to you guys. Guys, just give me a minute. There's some problem with the PPT. Right. So I'm just uploading the PPT once again. So guys, the ID requirement that you need to have while registering for the test is a valid passport or a Aadhaar card. Aadhaar card is not the smart Aadhaar card that we have. It's the big one that I have shown you in the the TOEFL slide. So you should be having that if you are preparing to register yourself using the Aadhaar card. So now I'll be talking to you about what to expect on a test day if you're taking the test at home. So guys, you should have a valid ID card, Aadhaar card, or a passport by that you are used while registering for this test. You should also keep a mirror or a mobile phone, a small mirror or a mobile phone with you because before the start of the test, the proctor will ask you to show the entire room, the table on which you have kept the desktop or laptop. They will ask you that. So because and you have to either show it through using a small mirror, or you can put on your selfie camera on and show the entire 360 view of the room that is there. So guys, also remember you don't need to have any rough paper to do the calculations and all. Or if you want to write any notes, you don't require any rough paper. What you can do in case if you want to use something to write on, probably you can use a whiteboard with a erasable marker or a transparent sheet with a erasable marker. So the pictures that you see on the screen are the things that you can use while you're taking this test, GRE General Test at home, and if you want to make any notes or calculation. right? So before the start of the test, guys, make sure that you run the ProctorU software. When the software runs, it actually tells the internet connectivity whether it's good or not. It checks your mic, your speakers, and make sure that you are ready for this test. Also request students to please close all the browsers and application before you start the test, because once you start off the test, the entire screen, the remote is with the proctor. So the proctor will make sure that all the application and the windows are closed before you start off with the test, right? Also make sure the internet connectivity at your place is good, in case if you're taking the general test at home. Also, guys, remember that you need to log in using the link that you have received from GRE on your email ID, right? So the test link will be sent to you on your email ID, and you have to use that link to join. Guys, many students make this mistake that they enter for this test early, they start the test late. Uh, so make sure that you are there on time, and you if you are actually facing some sort of difficulties while taking this test, make sure that you are actually telling this to the proctor, so that he or she knows that yes, the student is genuinely facing a problem. There could be some internet issue at the student's place. But in case if you are late, then late for more than 12 minutes, then probably the test will get cancelled. Before the start of the test, the proctor will ask you to show the ID card, the entire room. They will ask you to show the entire room, the 360 degree of the room. They'll ask you to show the table on which you have kept the laptop. It should be, the table should be clean. There should be nothing other than your laptop, right? And the session, guys, being recorded by a proctor, right? So the entire this thing has been recorded by the software called ProctorU, and a human proctors there looking at you throughout this 3 hours 45 minutes test of yours. So during the test, guys, these are some of my recommendation to the students, that make sure that proctor is able to see you, right? In case please, if you're reading something, don't read the questions loudly, right? Because this could act against you, and the proctor might ask you to give you a warning, one warning, two warning, and probably the third warning he might cancel the test, right? So there is a 10 minutes break in between. So in case if you want to take that break, you can go out, drink, use the washroom, and then probably you can join back and take this test. So when you're back again, the proctor will ask you to show your ID card with which you registered. So the passport or the Aadhaar card, it should be there with you. So now what to expect on a test day if you're going to a test center. So basically, guys, again, you should have a valid ID card, a passport or Aadhaar card, right? You should not be carrying anything, not even a calculator, mobile phone. Just, make sure that you leave all these things behind before you are entering the test center, right? So before you enter the test center, they'll take a photograph of yours. A sample of your handwriting will be collected. They'll make sure that your pocket is empty, you're not carrying anything. Scratch paper, everything will be given to you by the test center itself, which means that you don't have to get anything, not even a calculator, because obviously on-screen calculators, they are available on the GRE test that you'll be taking, right? So guys, also remember that the scratch paper that they'll be giving to you, they'll take it back as well. So, right, so they have to they'll dispose that in the center itself, so they'll not allow you to take that back. So now I'll give you some general tips and strategies on how to prepare for the GRE test. So guys, first of all, there are a lot of study material which is available on our website, on ETS's website. So probably you can actually go visit our website. The best part is that whenever you're giving a competitive examination, whether it's CAT or any other paper that is there, so the main aim is to answer maximum questions correctly within a limited time period. This is the same with GRE as well. So you have to answer maximum questions correctly within the time that is given to you, right? So make sure that whichever test you're taking for GRE, if you're taking a sectional test or a topic test, you time yourself, give time and see whether you're completing that test within that given time. Okay, like I told you, there is no credit for partial answers. So make sure that if you don't know, leave it. And there's no negative marking, like I told you. So if you don't know, don't leave it. At least make a fluke and then move forward. I've also seen, students, they waste a lot of time on difficult questions. So rather than that, I would suggest, that, probably first answer all the easy questions that you know. Mark the difficult questions for the end, right? And once you're done with those easy questions, then you can actually go to the review screen, see the questions that you are left, and then probably do that. Students also spend a lot of time in, watching the review screen. So don't do that, guys. So keep, just do all the easy questions that you know, and then mark and come back to the difficult questions towards the end. So now I'll be talking to you about how to send and receive the score. So once you're done with the GRE test, guys, immediately you get to know how much you have scored in your verbal and your quantitative reasoning. Right. So over here, this is a screenshot of how you get your unofficial score. So once you're done with the test, you get to know how much you're scored in verbal and quant. Now it is your choice whether you want to keep this or not. Right. So if you want to cancel the score, you're not happy with it, you can cancel the score, and the score will also not go to the universities where you have applied in. So so with GRE, you can choose 4 universities of your choice. So beforehand, you have to choose that these are the universities where I want to send my scores to. So if you cancel your score here itself, the universities will not be receiving the score, right? And if you want to save it, you can save it. Then the university will also be receiving your score and how much you have scored in verbal and quantitative reasoning. So like I told you, with GRE test, you can, we can apply into 4 universities of your choice. If you want to apply into additional universities, guys, you need to pay $27 per university. So GRE has this very good feature of score select. So probably students who have taken GRE twice, thrice, and wants to actually send their best attempt. So let's say my first attempt was in January, then I took one in May, then I took the third in the month of September. So if I want to send the May one, I can send the May one. If I want to send all my attempts, you can send all the attempts to the university, and let the university decide which scorecard they want to choose. So this video will actually show you how this thing actually works. So please listen to this videos, guys.
This is how to send GRE scores after test day. You can choose up to 4 graduate institutions or fellowship sponsors to receive your GRE scores as part of your test fee. On test day, after you view your unofficial verbal reasoning and quantitative reasoning scores, you will be prompted to designate score recipients for free. To send scores after test day, or to more than 4 recipients, you will need to order additional score reports for a fee. To place an order, log into your ETS account and select Send Additional Score Reports under Scores. Confirm your personal information, then select Next. Enter the name or designated institution code for the schools or programs where you want to send your scores. You may add the department name or leave it blank. If you have taken multiple tests, choose the Score Select Service option that meets your needs. Most recent, all, or any test administration from this screen showing your reportable history. If you have taken a GRE subject test, select the scores associated with the test and date you want to send. Select OK, then select Add to Cart and Checkout. Confirm all of your school and department information, then check out. Review your shopping cart, enter any promotion or voucher codes you may have, and choose Pay Now. Select your payment method from the available options. Enter the required payment information. Once the order is complete, you will receive a confirmation email. It takes approximately 5 business days to process requests to send GRE scores. If you plan to send scores and the date at which your scores are no longer reportable is approaching, allow enough time for processing or your scores may not be sent. Best of luck with your applications.
So I hope that video was useful to you all. So now I'll be talking to you about the official score. So normally the score comes in 10 to 15 days after the test. So you can also view your test on the ETS account that you have created. You can also take a personal copy of the same. This is a sample of the scorecard, how the scorecard will look like. So you can see how your scorecard will look like on the ETS website once you're taken. You can also see the universities on the right side. You can see the
Excuse me, sir, you're on mute.
I'm so sorry. My internet got disconnected. Yeah. So on the right side, you can see the scorecard, the list of universities where you applied in, and it shows that yes, your score has been sent to these designated universities of your choice. So the next slide, this shows how the institution receive your score. So they get to know that what's your name, which program you're applying in, what is your score. This is how a university will receive your GRE score. So normally, guys, students come, they ask me in a year, how many times could we take the GRE test? So in a year, guys, you can take the GRE test 5 times, and there should be a gap of 21 days between the first and the second attempt, right? So 5 times in a year, you can take the GRE test. So this is a very good feature that GRE has, which is the diagnostic service that GRE provides. So once your score is out, you get to know how you performed in your attempt, the GRE test attempt that you gave. It shows how much time you took on a difficult question, how much time you took on a easy question. So all those minute things they tell you, and it actually helps you prepare for the test in case if you are planning to take it the other time, right? So all basic details, the entire diagnostic has been done and told to you, like how to improve for the how to improve your score if you want to take it the next time. So guys, these are the free tools which are available on our website. So if you want, you can actually take a screenshot of the same. It is available there on our website. So I request students who are actually planning to take the GRE test to take a screenshot and start preparing using these free resources that are available. So these are some of the book material that are also available on our ETS website, or you can actually purchase them from Amazon as well. So you have the GRE verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, you have an official guide for GRE, and you have AW practice questions as well, book available. So you can purchase this from our ETS website or from Amazon. So now coming back to the GRE search service that I was talking to you about. So in case if you enable this service, guys, now the institutions start reaching out to you. So if suppose you have got a 320 and you have enabled this score, so probably programs and universities having a program which actually suits, like who wants that particular score of 320, they'll start approaching you. In some cases, the students might even get a scholarship using this GRE search service. So in case a university has a, let's say, a score of like 315, and your academics matches with that university for that particular program, and there is any scholarship, you get to know about it, and they'll tell you that with this score, with your profile, you can get a scholarship of so and so. So this is a very good feature, so again, which you guys can enable once you're registering for the GRE test. So guys, this is our website, ets.org. For any other information related to GRE, we'd be happy to help you out. But before that, I would request all of you to visit our website and see what all things are there. A lot of practice materials are available on our website, guys. So this is our mobile number and our email IDs. So guys, you can take a screenshot of the same. If you have any problem related to GRE, you can reach out to us on this number. If you are facing problem with registering for GRE test, you can also let us know. We'll be happy to help you out. So guys, one more thing, students who are planning to take the GRE and the TOEFL test together, guys, make sure that you guys know, if you're taking the test, booking for the test together, there's a $48 discount on the TOEFL test. So if you're planning to take the GRE and TOEFL together, and you're booking for the TOEFL test, you're getting a $48 discount onto, and this is valid till end of September. So guys who are planning to take in the month of January could pre-book the test and avail this $48 discount. So with that, I have completed my session on TOEFL and GRE. So I request the students to now please start asking questions related to TOEFL and GRE. Yeah, thank you. So I'll be picking 5 questions. So guys, you can start typing in. I'll choose those questions and I'll start answering them. So there's a question by Sandeep. Is any way to obtain financial assistance for TOEFL, GRE subject in any long, less possible way like embassy or any scholarship? Sandeep, I didn't get you, but are you talking about any sort of discount which is there for this test? So like I told you, for TOEFL, there is a $10 discount which is available. But if you're going for a GRE and TOEFL, there's a $48 discount on the TOEFL test. But yeah, see, basically, if you're looking out for something like a scholarship or something like that, Sandeep, it depends on the profile that you are having. So when I mean profile, it means your GRE score, it means your academics, it means the research study, the internship that you have done, statement of purpose, your letter of recommendation. All those play, a very vital role for you to get any sort of, financial assistance. And the best part is, guys, if you are looking for some sort of scholarship, it all depends on how early you're applying into a university. So the early you apply, the chances of you getting a scholarship will be high. So, students, they apply late and they don't get their desired course, desired program, and they don't even get their desired, and they don't even get the scholarship as well. So make sure that you're applying early in case if you're looking for any sort of scholarship from the university. How to take the financial aid using, I think, Parmeet, I just answered you. Yeah, so is there any other question? Okay, I'm okay, Q&A. Okay. Okay, so there is, sir, are there any questions in GR related to subject in which we are going to study? So in GRE, see, basically, you will be tested on verbal reasoning, like English, as well as in maths, right? So it is, right now, what you guys are studying, it's like maths. It's a very simple maths. It's the same maths that you have studied from 10 to 12, right? So again, math syllabus is, yeah. But if I talk about the verbal reasoning, yes, verbal reasoning is something for which you have to actually put some, invest some time on it, right? Because it is something which is new. It is not the same English that we have studied, like sentence equivalence, and there are a lot of vocabulary which is there in a GRE. So probably for that, if you normally a student asks me, sir, what is the right time? How much time does it take for a student? So at least 2.5 months is the right time for a student to prepare for GRE and then take the test for GRE. Okay, which test in your opinion will be better for us, the paper, TOEFL, or the IBT? So Manash, it depends on you're comfortable with which format of TOEFL. So in case if you are comfortable with taking the test online, probably you can take the IBT. But in case if you're comfortable taking the test through paper, you can take the paper edition as well. But Manash, I would request you to please visit, first of all, first shortlist the universities where you are planning to get into. So there will be some dream universities that you have, right? So visit those websites and see, are they accepting TOEFL IBT? Are they accepting TOEFL paper? Are they accepting both? Either of them you can take. So you can take, according to me, depends on like your comfortability. If you are comfortable taking the online one, take the online one. If not, then take the offline one. There's a 10-minute break in TOEFL. Is it compulsory? Can we choose to avoid it? See, if there's a 10 minutes break, so the either you can sit in front of the computer or you can actually go and drink water or use the washroom and then you can come back. But yes, you cannot avoid it. It is something which is there fixed. If we choose to send your scores some months after we are done with GRE, can we avail? So see, guys, if you are if you're planning to take the GRE test in advance, you have to select the schools that you want to send your scores to. You cannot select it after you have received the scores, right? So it is done before that. So after you receive the score, you want to send to some other universities, then you have to pay $27 per university of your choice. So if we take TOEFL Home Edition, we can only apply in 4 university of choice. Yes, with Home Edition, you can apply in 4 universities of your choice. So there's a question, what is the eligibility for GRE? So any student who has just entered their 3rd year, probably they can start preparing for the GRE. The GRE score is valid for 5 years. Yeah, so any student who is there in their pre-final year, final year can actually start preparing for the GRE. How much is a good score for TOEFL? So any score which is above 90 is a good score for TOEFL. Can a student, a first year student, give GRE? Absolutely, Paramjeet. A student in first year can also give the GRE test. See, the test, like I told you, the score is valid for 5 years, right? I know many of you know about the paper called CAT, Common Aptitude Test, that many of the students across different colleges they take. So what happens in CAT is that we prepare for this test for the entire year. November, October, May, the test comes. We give that test, and the score is also valid for a few months. That is the time where we are actually applying into the colleges, universities of our choice with that. But with GRE, the best part is that the score is valid for 5 years, and you can choose when you want to apply into Indian B school or a B school abroad using that GRE score. So yes, a student in first year can take it, but depends. Like if you are planning to take it, you can take it. Otherwise, likely what I have seen, what happens, students who are in pre-final and final year students are the ones who take the GRE test. When is the right time to third, fourth? Like I told you, it's pre-final or final year. Like normally I've seen 3rd year students taking it more. They start off with, because by 4th year they decide. 4th year I've seen students, they are more into placements and all. But yes, at that time also students, they prepare for GRE. But ideally 3rd year is the right time for a student to start off with the GRE preparation. Any specific preparation tips for verbal ETS official? Okay, so guys, we also conduct these master class session for students where we actually take the topic on GRE. Let's say a verbal the topic is reading comprehension, and our master trainer actually tells the students how to prepare for this test. We give them tips and strategies on how to improve on that particular topic. So every month we have these master class for different topics. So last week it was on reading comprehension. This week it will be on sentence completion. So I will be sharing the invitation to all the students for the master class event. So if you guys are interested to be a part of that session, probably you can join this free tip and strategy session by ETS. So I think that's it. So a lot of questions were there. So we are also running out of time. So I would like to thank Jayant for organizing this session for IIT Guwahati. We have done similar sessions for all the IITs across India. We were fortunate enough to have a session with the Guwahati students as well. So thank you, Jayant, for organizing this session. And thank you, Parvati, for being such a good host. And thank you all students for being part of this session. I hope you guys do well. Students who have said yes to receiving the updates on TOEFL and GRE, we'll be sending them out invitations of all the sessions that we will be doing related to GRE or TOEFL. So probably if you are interested to attend these free classes, probably you can join us, right? So thank you all. Thank you for being part of the session, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Mr. Augustine. That was a very insightful class. It was really enjoyable. And if the participants have any further queries, you can also reach out to us at sab@iitg.ac.in. We'll further your queries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.